They have done a great work. We'll move to 3.2B, public comment. Before we get started, I'm gonna read this. The time limit for any comment to the board is 3 minutes. Board members not expected to comment or take any action on matters during public comment. Any individual speaking during public comment shall address the entire board. Any person who willfully interrupts, disturbs, or disrupts the session will be asked to leave the meeting. If you would like to speak to an agenda item or speak in public comment, you must sign up on the sheets at the door. Time limit to speak on an agenda item is also 3 minutes. Speakers are allowed to speak once during public comments and on one agenda item. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. And Mr. Jerry Moody, come on up.
Thank you for having me tonight. Just wanted to tell y'all that we were successful this year in the North Carolina Farm Agriculture Farmland Preservation Trust Fund grant. We were able to receive a total of $500,000 with we have to get a 30% match. And I guess the TVA is still on board with that. And then on top of that, through the work of Dennis and others, advisory group, we were able to get a legislative, I guess, a grant from the legislature for $500,000 for the arena building. That's also going to be emergency management and storage. And because of that extra cash, we're going to be able to put in flooring for when we need it to be storage. So a tractor trailer can drive across. They won't be storing stuff on the dirt or anything like that. It'll be on ground looks like a puzzle piece flooring. So I'm still learning about how we access all this. I just got another email today from Corey Holman from the NCDA, going through all the stuff that we have to do, and I'll need to get with Mr. Troy tomorrow to see it all. But just want to let y'all know we did receive it, and hopefully by this time next year we'll have an enclosed arena out there, and we're looking at something around 200 by 120, which will give us enough space to store everything that we need to store during Helene, as far as food and farm stuff, and then be able to have different equestrian events and livestock events and other events out here as well. So thank you.
Thanks, sir.
I will say that I think this is our third attempt at this. So perseverance on Jerry's part and the farm people were there, instrumental in pushing that through. Thank you.
Well, I think we had that one public meeting, and I invited everybody and their brother, because I felt like when we went to do our little talk with them, and we have to do like an interview with the NCDA. I sort of got the feeling that they thought it was just me and Troy. So I got everyone who wanted to sit behind us. They saw the groundswell, the grassroots folks here that really want this. So I think that really helps. So I appreciate everyone's help in getting us this. So thank y'all. Have a good evening.
Mr. Greg Jenkins.
Thank y'all for having me. You can save the awards and the pictures. We fixed dozens of homes and built dozens of roads, and we're still in over our heads. We got 99-year-old World War II veterans right here in Avery County living in a tin can. Couldn't get out of it if you had a fire. There's no steps. A hurricane blew them away. In your town. Over there across the state line, we got an 88-year-old law enforcement man. TV Barney. Been sleeping in his car for a year up on Rome Mountain. 88 years old. 5 degrees below zero, I found him. Still sleeping in his car. He's waited a year for the long-term recovery group to get to him. Shall I continue? I don't have the right pronouns. I don't have the right letter after my name. I'm fighting for veterans and law enforcement. is sick, the money you people give crackheads and convicts over law enforcement and our American warriors that are fighting today in Iran. So you can sit here and get awards. Right here in this town, nothing you did for Sam Eller for the 4th of July, nothing. I paid a crackhead to carry his banner in the parade. I paid a convict to carry a cross in the parade in Sam Eller's honor. 99 years old, World War II veteran. Not one person from Avery County's authority thanked him for his service. It's a mess. It's a mess. May God have mercy on your souls, each and every one of us.
Okay. We will move on to 3.2C, public comment on agenda items. Mr. Jenkins, do you want to comment on 3.3A?
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Sorry. I'd much rather everybody else talk about it first, and I'll go last on that particular subject. Unless nobody wants to talk about it, you're just gonna dole out the money. It's up to you, sir.
Well,
This is the time.
this is the time.
Okay, I'm gonna go. My name's Greg Jenkins. I ain't from here, don't belong here. I'm here to fight for my brothers in blue and my brothers in law enforcement, or my military brothers. My brothers in blue die on the front lines of the opioid epidemic in America, fighting them dealers. They get shot up, their families are left alone to live the rest of their lives. The #1 opioid distributor in the world. Who is it? The Department of Veterans Affairs. They feed veterans with opioids, son, as full as they can get them. I don't take none, you can tell I get a lot. Listen to me. I asked this lady at the meeting, with Sheriff Henley sitting next to me, and you county commissioners there, does that money go to illegal aliens? And the people that come into this town from nowhere when the grant money comes, said, yeah, we don't discriminate. You prayed that you do the right thing by the citizens of this community, not the illegal aliens, sir. Don't give them the money. At the opioid settlement funds, I emailed you and your wife. You're so easy to get in touch with. She admitted to giving the money to illegal aliens in Avery County. Avery County taxpayer dollars that should go to law enforcement, families that have lost their loved ones fighting the battle, probably should be taken care of first, not the crackheads and the convicts. The veterans that are getting pumped full of opioids probably ought to get help first, not the crackheads and convicts, not the illegals. My brothers, you're a patriotic American, so are you. Conservative Republican, right? Give it to the illegals. Go on the record. You know why I don't get a governor's award? Because I'm for veterans and law enforcement, and I don't have the right pronoun.
All right, yes, sir. We'll move on to 3.2D, board appointments. And the first one is to Recreation Advisory Board review with Michael Hicks. So we will review that and appoint that next. And the second one is for the Social Services Board, Ms. Snap Greg, and we can go ahead and approve that, so I'll need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve from Deborah Gray.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So we'll move to 3.3 County Commissioner staff items. A, opioid settlement funded programs presentation. So Mrs. Price, would you like to get us kicked off on that, please?
Thank you, Commissioners. Appreciate you having me back. It's lovely to join you again this evening. When I joined you last month, you heard 2 presentations. And so this month, you are going to be hearing the final 4. These, of course, are the final reports for the organizations that received funding for last fiscal year. Of course, decisions have already been made for this upcoming fiscal, or for the fiscal year we're currently in. So we've got Freedom Life. We've got Milena Ward, who's going to be giving you guys an update on some of the programming. Of course, you guys are very familiar with Freedom Life at this point in time. They are now in their 4th year of funding with the county. High Country Community Health will also be joining you. Miss Sarah Clark is with us as well. You, of course, are very familiar at this point with High Country Community Health as well, because they as well are in their 4th year of funding with the county. I did also give you guys some handouts. It just has a high-level overview if you're curious about how much they've received, or some of the success stories and some of the things that they've shared. You can take a look at that whenever you go. Marjorie Williams Academy, Dr. Cindy Austin is here with us as well. Williams Academy is now in their 3rd year of funding, doing a really unique program that I'm really excited for you guys to hear some updates about as well. And then finally, but not least, of course, Western Youth Network. Ms. Amber Dixon is here, and she will be sharing with you guys updates. Of course, Western Youth Network just entered their 2nd year of funding, so their 1st year, of funding, they, similarly to Broken Wheel Ministries, they kind of sort of were establishing a program. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear some final updates from how that went in 1st year, as well as some hopeful things that they've got going on starting their 2nd year of funding. So we'll just go ahead and go in order, if that's all right. I'm going to call Milena up here to give you an update about Freedom Life.
Okay. Thank you for having me and allowing me to come and share some of the great things that's happened over this last fiscal year. I serve our community in the capacity of a reentry coordinator, case manager, and peer support. We work in the jails, we work in the community. Over the last fiscal year, we served 127 individuals. We provided 1,596 services, and we transported 3,837 miles. Some of the biggest highlights over the year, our groundbreaking event that we've been waiting on since 2001. It's finally happened on our property. We've got the site design development done, and we've completed site prep. So we're moving forward with our first men's transitional home in the upcoming year. We have a fully functioning Elk Park volunteer team. We have this plan for every precinct in our county, and so Elk Park is up and functioning. We're focused now on Lower Avery. We started building our relationships down there with churches and community members. I want to highlight the partnership that we have with Homestead Recovery, with the Avery RV, with peer support in our county is been life-changing. And I want to highlight a meaningful partnership that we developed with a 1-year faith-based vocational program that we've been able to get several people into, Hope Centers Ministries. We completed 2 15-week CBI classes with our clients in the community to help them better make decisions. And then I want to highlight a successful, I call it a pre-release story. We had an individual who was in our support groups for 8 months inside of Avery County Jail. Through that, she was able to change perspective and decide that she wanted different for her life. Advocated for herself with the judge. The judge, in partnership with us, said it was okay for her to go to a rehab. We helped get her there, and now she is successful living her life and making huge moves in the world. And we're just really grateful to be a small part of the big change that's happening. Thank you.
And I should say too, if you guys have any questions, please feel free, of course, to ask any questions. Do you guys want, or we can wait until the end? It's up to you guys.
Very good.
But if at any point you have any questions. fine. Okay, we'll have Miss Sarah Clark go with High Country Community Health now.
Good evening. I'm Sarah Clark, and I'm the Director of Substance Use Disorder Treatment at High Country Community Health. And I'm pleased to be here tonight to share a few updates about our funding that we received with the opioid settlement last year. The strategies that were approved for us last year were the evidence-based addiction treatment and naloxone distribution. And in that time, we've served 152 unique participants in our medication for opioid use disorder program in that reporting year of 2025 to 2026 here in Avery County in our clinic. With our funding, we were able to support a position for a behavioral health provider, and she's a licensed marriage and family therapist associate. So she provides some family therapy and couples therapy in our clinic, as well as support for our medication for opioid use disorder program patients, supporting their psychosocial needs, their recovery efforts, and also our primary care patients as well for behavioral health. Since she was hired, she has seen 229 unique patients in the Avery office, with a total of 560 encounters with those patients. And she was hired in November, so that's just since November. In terms of naloxone distribution, we've distributed 94 individual naloxone doses through our Purple Pantry project that provides the 24/7 access to our community members that's on our site. When we're talking about community impact, some, pieces of our programs, medication for opioid use disorder is an evidence-based approach to help treat opioid use disorder, and it dramatically reduces overdose fatalities, lowers healthcare costs, supports individuals in maintaining employment, housing, and improves those family connections. And according to the 2024 Avery County Community Health Assessment, addressing mental health issues was ranked second in the key priorities, and we're proud to provide that service to the community. These mental health issues that were identified in that community health assessment was dealing with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, social isolation, and loneliness. I thought it would be helpful to hear a patient's story from our clinician. And so this is written by Chris Soto. She's our marriage and family therapist, and it's about a patient that she's treated in the office. I've been working with a patient that is a single father in our community who works full-time while raising his 3-year-old son who has developmental disabilities. Like many parents, he wanted to provide the very best for his child, but the demands of balancing full-time employment, caregiving responsibilities, financial pressures, and navigating appointments and therapies left him emotionally and physically exhausted. Over time, this patient began experiencing symptoms of depression. He found himself feeling overwhelmed, isolated, and hopeless. He was sleeping poorly, had lost interest in activities he once enjoyed, and struggled to find the energy to engage with his son after long work days. Although he knew he wasn't feeling like himself, he simply believed that he needed to push through and focus on taking care of everyone else. Eventually, he reached out to our behavioral health team for support. He began meeting regularly with me, where he found a safe, judgment-free space to talk openly about the challenges he was facing. Through counseling, he learned practical strategies to manage stress, how to challenge negative thought patterns, and recognize the importance of caring for his own mental health so he could continue caring for his son. As trust developed, he became more comfortable engaging with other services available through our clinic. I encouraged him to establish primary care, something he had postponed for years because his son's needs always came first. Through integrated care, he was able to address his own physical health while continuing counseling, creating a more comprehensive approach to his overall well-being. In the following months, his outlook began to change. His symptoms of depression improved. He felt more confident managing daily stress, and he developed healthier routines for both himself and his son. He reported feeling more present as a father, better able to navigate the challenges of parenting, and more hopeful about the future. Today, he continues to utilize the tools he learned in counseling and remains connected to both behavioral health and primary care services. This patient story reflects the impact of expanding access to behavioral health services in rural communities. The investments that have strengthened our response to the opioid crisis have also allowed us to build a more integrated system of care that reaches people before they experience a crisis, connects them with primary care, and supports healthier families. By treating the whole person, we help individuals remain employed, care for their loved ones, and contribute to the strength and resilience of our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. We'll have Dr. Cindy Austin go to talk about Marjorie Williams Academy.
Thank you very much. I'm the principal of Marjorie Williams Academy, and we use the opioid settlement for the literacy to speak to help the children who are the unintended victims of the opioid crisis, whether they're born into it and have, because of that, received health impairments, or if it's their environment and their academic loss based on the environment in which they are living in. We provide individualized evidence-based literacy interventions to students requiring additional academic support due to their ACE scores, their mental health, or just their academic deficiency. What we saw this last year as far as our student growth, we had measurable from the beginning of the year to the end of the year growth across every grade level served. Reading fluency, accuracy, and foundational literacy skills improved. The benchmarking success, multiple students met or exceeded end-of-year benchmarking goals. Kindergartners, second, third, and fifth grade students reached or surpassed their key literacy targets. The individualized support, the instruction was tailored to each student's need, increasing achievement and confidence. Early intervention produced especially strong foundational gains. And then the spotlighting of a student, the third grade student, which we labeled student H. His fluency went from 70 to 132 words per minute. The reading comprehension went from 329 to 459. And the EL benchmark, which was less than 21%, he almost reached nearly 80%. The students that we served were 2 kindergartners, 2 first grade students, 4 second grade students, 2 third grade students, and 3 fifth grade students. I'm happy to report of the third grade and third, fourth, and fifth grade students, the ones that were tested. The third grade students, of the 2, both of them passed their EOGs with a 3, 4, or 5, which was 100% for that group. And then the fifth grade, we had 2 of the 3 that passed with the 3, 4, or 5, which was 67% of the students. The students demonstrated measurable academic growth across all participating grade levels. Targeted tutoring, accelerated literacy development, help students meet rigorous benchmarks and strengthen the skills needed for long-term academic success. We look forward to this new year bringing in the fifth grade students, which we are pleased to announce they tested out of the program going into middle school. So they reached their benchmark and their goals. So they tested out. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. And then last but not least, we'll have Miss Amber Dixon go with Western Youth Network.
Good evening. Thank you for having us here again tonight. Like Sarah said, I'm Amber Dixon with Western Youth Network and in their community health team. We were able to utilize our opioid settlement funds granted by you all to deliver alternative to suspension programming in the high school. I do want to emphasize that we are only able to do this program through this funding because our other funding is strictly prevention, and this allows us to accomplish some early intervention programming for our youth that are already impacted by substance use. Some numbers from the full year, we were able to deliver 5 cohorts. That's 5 individual groups through the school year. Each group had 4 sessions. We almost made 6, but due to testing schedules, we weren't able to complete the last session. So we're going to try to focus a little bit on some scheduling. I will say that, as all of us know, weather in the high country can impact school schedules. As a parent, I understand this, but we served a total of 27 unduplicated students. Out of those, 24 completed the class at least once. No, I got that wrong. We served 27 students. 24 of those are unduplicated and completed the class at least once. 8 students completed the class more than one time, and I'll speak to that a little bit further on. There were 3 students who did not finish the class. One of these students only attended the last session of the year, and the other 2 had extenuating circumstances, and that's why they did not complete their cohort. This program utilizes the Our Healthy Futures curriculum from Stanford Reach and uses principles from cognitive behavioral therapy and motivational interviewing to institute behaviors of change with the students that meet with us. This offers participants an opportunity to learn about the effects of nicotine addiction and offers them clear, science-based, and age-appropriate information on what addiction can do to their developing brains and the long-term effects it has on their lives. And I say that in those terms, and it sounds super boring, but I can say that the instructor that delivers this programming in the schools really works hard to build rapport with the students and make sure that this is in language that resonates with them. The students get a chance to talk about the reasoning behind their use and how to increase their own healthy coping skills, and also gives them tools for refusal farther on in their lives. We did notice some patterns through the school year. Through the first semester, we were really focused more on just building rapport with the students within the school in general. Thankfully, our instructor is really well versed in working with teenagers and middle schoolers, and is watching her work doing this is actually kind of exciting in the way she engages with the students, and you can watch them learn to trust her. So I find that exciting. By spring semester, we started seeing some of those repeating students. I've spoken about this before, but we find that this is really helpful just in the sense of building that trust and maintaining that trust. We also know with the cycle of dependency that often it takes a few times through any program to change behaviors. So to us, that feels like a win, even if on the surface, it's like, why are kids repeating things? Kirsten also noticed that the students that were coming back, even if there was a little bit of begrudging, like, why am I here again? They loved being with her, and that's good because that shows a building of trust. We also noticed a shift in some of the conversations with the participants farther on in the school year. They were more willing to be open with us about not just the use of what they were caught with at school, but what they find themselves exposed to and using in the home. So through that second semester, we spent a lot of time talking with them about what is available to them, and a few things rose to the surface. First off, we know this through the lawsuit back in the nineties with big tobacco and how marketing is, targeted to youth, by making it look fun. They reported that vaping sometimes felt like a game and that they enjoyed the flavors. And when you switch over and you look at the marketing tactics, you can see that that's intentional from the manufacturers. So it helps us inform some of the other work that we do within our community health program in making sure that our local retailers understand their responsibility to our youth and our community. And it also helps us advocate on state and federal levels to make sure that our elected officials are holding those manufacturers responsible. The other piece that we noted is that there's a social access. So kids reported getting the vapes and other substances from older siblings, friends, and even in some cases, their caretakers or parents. So it shows us a need for community education, which we hope to address a little bit more this coming year. Throughout the whole year, we were also able to talk to the kids about some common myths and misconceptions about substance use. One was this one student brought up the concept of greening out, and we talked about what that means from a neurobiological perspective, and also were able to dispel or attempt to dispel the myth that some kids don't believe that that's a thing. And so we were able to talk our way through what that actually was and the science behind it. We found it really interesting in listening to students about why they wanted to quit or not. Those that did want to quit were very open in sharing why it was difficult, and they spoke to peer pressure. They spoke to the fact that they know they're using to cope with difficult things at home and in school, whether that's family life, relationship dynamics, or just stress from high school. Some students shared that they quit because they had already started noticing some of the physical effects of nicotine, and one reported that they could feel a tightness in their chest when they were running and how it was affecting their athletic performance. So by offering alternative activities and offering other coping skills, we're able to help them maintain not using substances. At the beginning of the year, in the surveys, we do a pre and post survey with every student that comes in and then completes the program. Most students could identify a supportive person in their lives, and I spoke to this some when I came and talked to you all in the winter. Most students could identify a supportive person in their lives. However, later in the spring during class, staff reported that no student could identify an adult inside or outside of the school that, and I'm quoting this, that they could imagine having an open and curious and non-judgmental conversation about their substance use. Some said they felt they were under a microscope, and some wanted to talk to their parents and caregivers but were afraid. This is really sobering to listen to as adult community members, and knowing that we all have a responsibility to our youth, whether they're our own children or not. I know as a parent, it makes me, check myself when my kids are coming and talking to me about things they're facing, and hopefully check my judgment or preconceived ideas at the door so I can effectively listen to them. So I'm thinking we are working on ways to bring that to our community and offer concrete ways for our families and parents to be able to do this and know they have the tools at their disposal to have those conversations. Again, this is all really heavy stuff and sobering to hear, but we felt grateful that our youth felt comfortable in talking to us about some of these things. One thing I know in my work, especially in prevention, because we think there's a problem or we're trying to prevent an issue from becoming a problem, is we've got data, and then as we do the work, often it feels like it's bigger or worse than what we initially thought. And I think about when I cleaned the closet You know the closet needs to be cleaned out. You pull everything out and suddenly your entire house is dirty. It's not necessarily that the problem is worse, it's just more visible. And so we're thankful for that visibility because that means we can begin to be honest with ourselves and our children about the help that we need to give them and the help that they are asking for. Which brings us to what we hope to accomplish through the next year of funding. We do intend on doing the same programming. What we will be planning on is making sure that kids that leave the programming are connected to a healthy, supportive community afterwards. We've already been having conversations with Brian, who I know you heard from last year, and the way he's looking at incorporating his programming to invite youth into it. So we're looking at how we can collaborate with him. I've also had conversations with Avery Connects in the way that they try to increase opportunities for our graduating students and making sure that they've got career paths available to them, and how do we bridge that gap. We've also looked and started talking with Mountain Alliance in making sure that they have opportunities to connect with them. One of the things that a lot of the students talked about was the peer pressure, in that they wanted to be able to quit, but what did it feel like once they were out of that program and didn't have that connection or that safe space to talk, and how difficult that was. So taking that into consideration, making sure that they know that they have a safe, supportive place to go afterwards. What we find we're really thankful for is that trust from our students and the opportunity to build relationships with our community and our community partners. We look forward to continuing to show up for not just the youth, but also our schools and you all as the community at large. So thank you again for this opportunity. And I'm happy to answer any questions here, or please feel free to email me. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Commissioners, I will just conclude by noting the appreciation once again for not only allowing the organizations to come and talk to you, of course, for granting the funding for them to be able to do these really cool projects. Amber did mention, last month you did hear from Brian with Broken Wheel Ministries, and you heard from the MRJC team. Of course, if you have any questions, all of them did go into a new programming year, please let me know, or you do have their contact information on the handouts. And then I will also just make note that your Dogwood Planning Grant funding, which allows me the opportunity to stand here in front of you today, did have a progress report due last week that was submitted. I have sent your county manager a copy of that. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer that. And then I will also, just for the general public here as well, just make note that we do have a monthly meeting that you are more than welcome to come and join us and have conversations. It's the Drug Crisis Roundtable. It is the third Monday of every month at 10 a.m. We meet here in this room. I did bring a few flyers with me that I will just leave by the door if anybody is interested, of course, in joining us. It's open to the public. We do have a virtual option as well. You can always email me if you have any questions about that. Do any of you have any questions for me or for any of the funded organizations that were here tonight? Fabulous. Well, thank you very much once again for your time, and I look forward to coming and chatting again soon.
Thank you. We're gonna move to 3.3, the Avery County Schools Long Range Plan. This is a facility needs survey which is completed every 5 years.
Yes, it is. It's a fluid document that the school system can update and change at any time. We just need an approval for the chair to sign this. And if you'll read at one section there, it says the acknowledgement does not constitute an endorsement of or commitment to fund the projects identified in this submission. So it's not committing us to any funds.
Right. So, have any questions, anybody? If not, I'll need a motion for the chair to sign this document for the long range plan for the Avery County Schools.
I move chair be allowed to sign the long-range plan.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you for that. We'll move to 3.3C, revision of the 2025-26 HCCBG funding plan and the new 2026-27 HCCBG funding plan. And those are actually two different, so we'll be separate motions, but you
Right.
go ahead and explain.
So the first one is our revision of the 25-26 funding plan. The funds were underspent with the congregate meal program, because we moved locations. So that was the time that congregate meals could not be in there, and then it's a smaller facility with fewer participants, so, the congregate nutrition was funded at $44,021. The home delivered meals was funded at $45,886. So, $18,000 was moved from congregate nutrition down to home delivered meals. And we'll need an approval for, that revision.
So I need a motion to approve that revision for the 2025-2026 HCCBG funding plan.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So the, 26-27 county funding plan, the total, home and community block grant funding is $181,966. That requires a local match, which is $20,218, for a total funding of $227,784. And we'll need approval of that funding plan.
So I need a motion to approve the 2026-2027 HCCBG funding plan.
Move to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. We'll move to 3.3D, which is the tax administrator report, and Miss Audrey couldn't be here tonight, so we are going to have the county manager handle that.
So tax collections for the month of July was $155,308.93.
Need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There were no releases for the month. And then in your packet is also the sales for July for 2026. The sales for this year was 65 at 70%. Last year, compared to last year, was 39 at 70%. And that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. We'll move to 3.3E, inspection and planning, Ms. Allison Kidd, final plat submission for the sanctuary at 911 units S8, S9, S10, and S11. Hey.
Good evening, board. My name is Heather Bender with Elevate Land Group. And I have our final plat this evening for, it's a PUD, for the sanctuary, which is part of 1911 and Cranberry. This is for lots S8, 9, 10, and 11. Everything has been through planning and inspections, received all necessary signatures. Answer any questions if you have them.
Anybody have any questions on that? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Just need your signature.
Thank you. Come on, sir.
I have started carrying a soft pen in my briefcase just for such an occasion.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move to 3.3F. The Airport Authority update, Mr. Doug Jennings.
It's a long ways up there. No, thank you much for having me. Just want to kind of let y'all know, a lot of these things that are going on with the airport now, dates back, seeing that young lady on the end over there, her dad, bless his heart, Gerald, and so many others, David Braswell, Sam Ray, so many, and, Fred Lowe, have passed by the wayside, but, they all originally passed most of this, these things going on here that we got grants on. It's been over 30 years, but we finally got a lot of it. And, the best thing we got going right now is, I don't know if some of you've heard of it, but, we have a new terminal building. I don't think we have the CO yet, do we? But we do on the hangar. We have 100 by 100 hangar, brand spanking new, pretty as it can be. She's got some pictures if y'all would like to look at them. And, what we'll be having is a ribbon cutting ceremony when we get through with the terminal building. And, it'll be an open invitation, y'all. Love to have you. I think she also gave you a sheet here with all the different grants that we've received. The best part of it is besides the regular budget, only about $30,000 since, what was the date on that? I think it was
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
The county's only put in that besides the regular budget, which is, I think we've got a total, I have to put my glasses on here, I can't see a thing. But we come up with around almost $11 million that we've received in grants. And out of that, only 30,000 from Avery County, besides our regular budget. And, it's appreciated. Probably the best thing that we have lined up now, I don't know if a lot of you are familiar with JARS. It's a missionary organization, Jungle Aviation and Radio Service. They're a branch of Wycliffe Bible Translators. We have entered into the formality of going through a lease with them, and hopefully we're going to be able to have their whole operation of the aviation portion will move up to Avery County Airport. And if you're not familiar with them, just look up Wycliffe Bible Translators, world renowned. And this organization has been coming up here since, I think, the early 70s, doing their mountain flying. And it will add so much to the airport and the whole community. They're looking at finding property and building a dormitory where they'll be housing missionaries from all over the world will be coming in here and doing their mountain training. So that's the biggest thing we have going right now. Any questions or?
Picture of the.
Yeah, that's the terminal building there. There's a few other pictures there of the insides. It's set up so they can have office space for a FBO, which is fixed based operation. There's a pilot's lounge in there with a kitchen, restrooms. Everything is as pretty a place as I ever seen. And of course, I don't know if I mentioned the other old hangar that Brad Reagan had built. We had to tear it down, but it has since, I think it's almost doubled our size with the hangar that we built.
Okay, I will ask after, post-Helene, all of the relief work that was done out of there, has that had any lasting impact on the airport?
More than you'll ever know. We learned a lot, just like y'all did. after going through that storm, it was educational for every one of us. And, biggest thing, is our communication, with the commissioners. We did try, I was communicating, and I know y'all had your plate so full that you didn't know what to do with. But, we had the same issues. We were averaging that little airport over 250 flights a day. The fuel was down. We didn't have a generator. The JARS people had first came in and started flying relief in. And we filled the hangar full. And still having people come in. Some people don't know that there was a lot of helicopter search and rescue. There was also a thing for, I think there were a lot of military people for exploited children or missing children that they were looking for at the same time. And which that kind of blew my mind that they'd be looking in this area. But we had that. The fuel farm was down. We were able to get a generator. I think Duke Power had brought us up a generator. We were able then to start pumping fuel, but because of the internet, we couldn't use a credit card machine. So we had to do every bit of it off the cuff. And I know some of y'all are at my age or beyond, but working 12 and 14 hours, there was one of the airport commission was 90 years old. And then 3, I think, were 80 years old, and then myself. And we did the best we could. We made some mistakes. But number one was we were in touch with the Department of Transportation, was with the group that finally came in there. And pardon the French, they were a bunch of horses' butts, but we got through it finally. And after talking with the DOT and all, we did figure out what our responsibility from now on, if we have something like that happen again, they will have to sign a lease, a temporary lease, to use the facilities. And then, of course, we'll have to have a background check and one thing and another. But we did the best we could with what we knew to do.
Thank you.
It's scary.
And thank y'all, because I know it's a thankless job. That's, I really think you ought to go home and thank your wives and your husbands, because that's why I brought my wife, because she goes, another meeting? And I know y'all get beat up all the time. I don't want to go, but you go anyway. So thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Okay. Move to 3.4, county manager report. County manager updates.
Okay, our hazard mitigation program, our individual one, the kickoff meeting for the homeowners is August the 6th at 3 o'clock in the big courtroom at the courthouse. 23 properties were bid out for that, 4 properties withdrew. The first phase will be 9 properties. The second phase will be 10 properties. They bid out everything so that they wouldn't have to go through the process again. I think it was a Jeffrey Ward Construction, and all of that was through the state, is who got the bid on that. So we'll be having kickoff August the 6th at 3 o'clock. Our Green Valley Park project, we have got the contract back with the corrections that the county attorney has advised needed to be in there, so we'll be proceeding with that. The Little League fields, the RFQ deadline was July the 21st. We received 4 requests for qualifications. The commissioners will decide on a design team. Our survey has been completed and I've received that. And so we'll try to get on with that. We had our EWP meeting and the commissioners at a special meeting approved participating in the EWP program. Paperwork's been sent back and, we have a contract. The county attorney is going to discuss that with us a little later. I met with the High Country Council of Government about a DEQ grant for debris. So we're currently working through the process on that. The admin building and senior center, the scope of work for those for demolition has been submitted. That requires, once we submit the scope of work for demolition, the Environmental and Historic Preservation Agency has to review, and this takes about anywhere from 45 to 90 days. What are you laughing at?
Just waiting.
Still, we're still working on the CDBG VR grants for the Little League fields, Parks and Rec building for the first round, which is due in September. The next round starts in November, and we'll be working on the grant for emergency services building then. Avery County received $461,318.88 for our temporary facility for the senior center, along with the temporary office buildings that we put up down there in the paving. So we got that from FEMA. Our two shelter trailers that has anything that you can think of in them has been organized. Everything's been labeled. Our DSS, all of our DSS workers has been trained in sheltering now. We have, so I have talked with Raquel. She's getting 3 teams set up because we have 3 actual shelters across the county. And the last of August, we're setting up a drill that we take the shelter trailers to like the rock gym. We're going to use the rock gym. And those people will go in and they will be responsible for getting everything out of the shelter trailer and setting up a shelter, the whole 9 yards, everything. It's a great setup. The shelter trailers are, everything's on carts. You just roll them in and then start setting them up. So we're going to do a drill. That drill will count as one of our, activities that we have to do for our EMPG grant, which is our emergency management grant. So I think that's it. Anybody have any questions?
Got any questions on that? Roll.
Plenty of questions, but none proceeding.
All right, thank you for that. We'll move to the 3.4B Finance Officer Report. Mr. Caleb Hogan.
Yes, I have a few items for y'all's consideration this evening. Item number 1, the Avery County School System received state funding to replace the roof at the central office and add emergency lighting at Avery High and Cranberry Middle Schools. This funding will need to pass through the county and be distributed to the school system. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment to debit Avery County Schools capital outlay $248,000, debit Avery County Schools capital outlay $3,715.98, and debit Avery County Schools capital outlay $4,880, and credit state grant funding $256,595.98.
Need a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this is from Helene Funds.
This is
correct?
Helene funding that the school system has received, yes. Item number 2, the Department of Senior Services has been notified by the High Country Council of Governments that it has remaining funds available in the amount of $17,136 to support post-Helene recovery and continuity of aging services in Avery County. The department wants to use the funds to purchase new signage for the building, outdoor furniture for patio area, as well as a 3-bay commercial refrigerator. Request the board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment to debit capital outlay state grant monies $17,136 and credit senior services revenue $17,136.
All right, I need a motion to the board accept the grant and approve the budget amendment.
So to approve item 2.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 3, the Department of Emergency Management is requesting funding for the installation of a generator that was purchased in the previous fiscal year and is now ready to be installed. This generator will support our jail and sheriff's office in the event of a routine power outage or disaster. Funding was approved last year, but the work was not able to be completed. Requests the board to approve the following budget amendment to debit capital outlay $56,000 and credit fund balance appropriated $56,000.
Need a motion to approve. So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So this was no fault of theirs, we were waiting
Yeah.
on the Piedmont
Mhm.
natural gas to
Right.
try to get,
Run the piping for the.
run the piping, and they finished last week. So,
Item number 4, the Department of Building and Grounds is requesting to replace an Addison HVAC unit out of FEMA reimbursement funds for force account equipment. These funds were received in last fiscal year, so this amendment will pull these funds from fund balance. Request board to approve the following budget amendment to debit Buildings and Grounds capital $120,000 and credit fund balance appropriated $120,000.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 5, the Department of Buildings and Grounds is requesting to replace windows at the courthouse out of FEMA reimbursement funds for forced account equipment. These funds were received in the last fiscal year, so this amendment will pull these funds from fund balance. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment, and I need to make a correction, that should read capital outlay, not capital outlay vehicles. I copied an amendment and I forgot to change that portion there.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, thanks. Cindy helped me catch that one. That will be capital outlay, and that line item should be $5,074.10. And debit that line in the amount of $80,000 and credit fund balance appropriated in the amount of $80,000.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
so this is not all the windows. This is
Yeah.
just the portion that we're dividing up
Yeah,
as the years go.
it's a big amount to swallow all at once, so we're just gonna address the worst.
The worst.
The Department of Central, Department of Central Dispatch is requesting funds remaining in capital outlay from FY 25-26 be rolled in the current budget year to help with various tower repair expenses that are, ongoing due to Hurricane Helene. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment to debit capital outlay $132,044.81 and credit fund balance appropriated $132,044.81.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So we're working on a lot of things with the different towers, and so that's why we haven't, it's taken a while,
Several of them.
yes.
A lot. Item number 7, in the 23-24 fiscal year, the county received Dogwood Health Trust grant to aid in the planning and implementation of the opioid settlement funds. This money will need to be moved forward into the 26-27 fiscal year of the remaining funds. Request the board to approve the following budget amendment to debit Dogwood Trust opioid grant $159,013.02 and credit fund balance appropriated $159,013.02.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Lastly, item number 8, the Avery County Jail had funds available in their budget in FY 25-26 to replace a fingerprint reader that was becoming obsolete. The reader was ordered but did not arrive by the end of the fiscal year, and they're requesting that the funds be moved into the current budget year. Request the board to accept the grant and approve the following budget amendment to debit capital outlay office $33,115 and credit fund balance appropriated $33,115.
Need a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And that's all I have for y'all today.
Thank
You
you,
have any
sir.
questions for me?
Anybody got any questions for me? If not, we'll move to 3.4, and then we'll move to 3.5, staff reports and requests. Anything? All right. then
What
we'll
about
move-
3.4C? We're gonna move.
We're gonna move.
Are we gonna announce it? Oh, okay.
We're gonna move 3.4C to 3.
To be heard after 3.6.
To be heard after 3.6, right?
Yeah.
No slot there, but we'll put you there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will move to 3.6, closed session, and we need to go into closed session under attorney-client privilege, GS 143-318.11A3, so,
And that includes discussing pending litigation and contract negotiations.
okay. And, I need a motion to go out of open session and into closed session.
We go out of open session into closed session for the aforementioned items.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we will take, county manager clerk, law, and the attorney, Taylor. Right. Yeah.
I had a proposed contract from Land Resource Management. There are still a couple of issues that need to be worked out on that, so it's not ready for any action for the board today.
Okay.
And I'll let the county manager know when that's ready to be acted on. And other than that, I do not have anything that requires the board's attention.
Okay, thank you for that. We will move to 3.7, approval of minutes for July the 6th, 2026 and July the 28th, 2026.
Move to approve the minutes as presented.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we'll move to 3.8, agenda consent items. Any questions on those? If not, they'll be approved by consent. Move to 3.9, informational items.
There's an invitation in there for, Yellow Mountain Enterprises, August the 15th. August 13th, sorry, at 5 o'clock up here.
Yeah.
If you decide to go, let me know. I know the RSVP was July the 10th, but we can RSVP anyway.
All right. So the next is, upcoming meetings. And we've got one of them scheduled for this, maybe a special meeting for the 17th or the 20th.
Board workshop.
Board workshop.
We're still working on that, but everybody look at their calendars for either the 17th or the 25th. Yeah. No.
Yeah, 25th.
August.
Yeah.
And we have on the 25th at 3 o'clock, we have a capital committee meeting. So.
Did you verify that on your calendar?
Yeah, I did.
It is
on
on
my notes.
Tuesday.
It is on the 25th.
Okay.
I don't know why we changed it to Tuesday, do you?
I think they did it 3 weeks from the day that we were last meeting, and it happened to be a Tuesday, so I think they said 3 weeks from today.
Okay.
Well, do you wanna see if they can move that to Wednesday?
I can try if the 25th if we can.
Big call, ask if they move it to the 25th on that same.
I'll just do a poll of the commissioners and see, and
Yeah.
I'll call them and ask them if we can move that one and see if the 25th.
Okay.
Do you know?
I don't have to.
Okay, I'll call you. I'll call you and see what dates are good for that. And our Labor Day, of course, is Monday, the 7th of September, so our meeting will be the 8th, Tuesday, the 8th at 6 o'clock. In September, our commissioners meeting, regular one.
Make sure you send that out, so you'd like to do this.
You'll get an agenda.
I know for sure I'll be here October 5th.
You will not be here October the 5th, okay. Okay, that's it.
All right. Nothing else, we'll, move to adjourn.
So moved.
Everybody say hallelujah.
That's right.